It's like I've been saying all 3 other seasons. One gun solves everyone's problem on this show.
Oh my god!
Wrong movie. That's like Snowfall or
Somehow
something
That's
else.
Snowfall.
there are no guns in this universe. I don't understand it.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the Heroes Peak podcast. I am your host Chris, and we're here to talk about entertainment, culture, and whatever the hell we feel like. And with me today, I have a wonderful group to talk about the '80s and all the wonderful nostalgia that has come since. And to start, the next Karate Kid. It's Brooks. How you doing, Brooks?
I was sure you were going to James with that one for some reason.
No, the
No.
next Karate Kid was what's her
Hilary
name?
Swank. Hilary Swank.
Hilary
Oh,
Swank.
that's right. You're
It
right.
has to be the
Not
youngest
a,
one. The
not a
youngest
good
person
comparison.
here, right?
Am I the
Or is that
youngest?
Chris?
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
you are.
Or is that Chris?
No, I think it's
44. 44?
44
Oh, damn.
July.
December.
There you go.
Oh, you're an old
Oh, wait.
44. Wait.
No, wait, you're
She's younger.
going to be 45 in July.
Oh, so I'm going to be older. Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
45 in July.
Okay.
Oh,
Man.
time. How does
Yo,
time
man,
work?
Common Core math, I'm telling you, it's tough.
I haven't taken a math class in 26 years, okay?
Look, I was lucky. I dropped out of my out of math class my senior year so I could actually pass the year because I had enough credits. All right. So, and he who strikes first. It's Johnny Lawrence. It's James. How you doing, James?
Bro, I look like I pee sitting down. Come on, man.
He
What's going on, man?
who doesn't deal with this SJW crap. It's Johnny Lawrence.
Did you finally
right.
figure out that Google thing?
Put it on the
Yeah.
internet.
I
Put
did.
it on the internet.
Hashtag Hash Brown.
That's actually that's a good comparison because James is a little like iffy with,
A
technology
little.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I connect with Johnny Lawrence with that.
And last but not least, but living in a foreign land, it's our Dre Parker, our Jaden Smith. It's Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Jaden Smith.
Hanging in there. I got my warm hat on because it's so damn cold out. Did you guys get a bunch of snow? Because, man, we got buried here yesterday in one day.
Yeah, less than
Oh,
an
yeah.
inch.
I think I got like somewhere between about 10 inches.
Yeah, you and
Jesus.
me are in that same zone, so...
Yeah, we're on either side of the lake, so
And New Jersey doesn't get snow because of all the toxic waste, obviously, so...
keeps it warm in the skies.
I don't know what's outside of my yard that you're telling me.
Right.
Looks like there's a lot of dandruff outside here in the backyard.
All right, so like I said, it's 80s day. So we are going to be talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife and Cobra Kai season 4. But to start, before we get there, I'm going to ask you, my wonderful co-hosts, if you could choose one 80s property, television, movie, comic book, whatever, that could be brought forward into the modern day in some either a remake, a new movie update, another version. What would it be? What do you want to actually see brought forward? What nostalgia do you want kicking around your brain to make you feel like you're 8 years old again? Brooks, do you have an 80s movie, television show, even a song you want made into a modern hit?
All right. So I said Gremlins because this was like a quintessential 80s movie. And I feel like if you rewatch it, which I haven't done in a while, it probably these days just looks like poor quality, like, you know,
Be surprised. Like I don't watch a lot of modern horrors, but we just watched it this Halloween, and
It kind of
the
holds up, yeah.
the
does it?
comedy, because there's so much comedy to it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works fine.
And plus, because I think it's because they used the puppets instead of CGI.
Right.
I think
But
it holds up better. Yeah.
yeah, go for it. I
True.
think that's a great choice.
Yeah, I
Mm.
just want to see what they could do with it in like modern day, but still make sure like cuz the gremlins are kind of cute and fluffy, but still like
The Mogwai,
Magwai,
Mogwai.
Magwai, Magwai,
Mogwai.
Magwai.
Still like, mean and whatever. My cousin says I'm a gremlin when I'm hungry. She calls me a gremlin.
But the sales possibility of selling Magwais and
Right.
Gremlins are just
Hmm.
through the roof. Through the roof.
Yeah, through the roof. I agree. So yeah, I would like to see Gremlins just for kind of nostalgia stake. Nostalgia stake sake.
Nostal.
Nostalgia
Is it
sake.
nostalgia?
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia. What do you
Unique
say?
New York.
Depends
Nope.
how
New
you
York.
depends on your accent. Say both.
That's right. All right, James.
All right, the nerdy guy here. I'm gonna do two real quick. Won't take too much time, Mike.
Star Wars. Oh wait, no.
No, we already did
We're
that.
good on time.
We're
So
doing well. First one's a TV show. Next one will be a movie. The TV show, and I think off the record, Keith and I have been talking about this. Thundercats. I would like
you
to
took one of mine,
see.
you bastard.
Thundercats.
I
They
would
did like
like
a
to see.
2015
They
animated.
did
Yes.
it. Netflix did it. Not was it Netflix? No, it was a cable company. I don't know, Cartoon Network or someone did it a couple
Mhm.
years ago. I
No, but
bought it. Memorabilia from that show didn't last.
I want a live action version.
I wouldn't mind a live action version, but I
Isn't
don't
that just
know.
cats
Yeah,
with swords? Like, let's
I
be
would love to see
careful
it
what we wish for
the
there.
way Arcane was done and that graphics. I'd love to
Mm.
see Thundercats in that same format.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. A
That'd
real,
be very interesting.
Or
real
even
stylized.
the way they drew Revelations was fine to me. Like if you want to save some money, you know.
True.
Yeah, but this is your
I
dream.
think
Spend all the
I
money
think
you want.
if you want to go arcane level, yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't want to spend all that money, you go Revelations level.
Or you
You
could do
know,
a. Was it Star Wars Rebel? No. What was the Star Wars
Visions?
Visions.
and Visions? Yeah, they
Yeah,
had
but
some
there
of
were
the
like seven different
Yeah, you got to
styles.
pick
You
which
can
one do
only
you
pick
styles.
pick.
one.
Yeah.
That's true. I'd love to see that. I think there's a new generation out there that would love to get on board with that type of storyline and characters. That'd be great. And as far as movie, The Last Dragon, man, Barry Gordon's Last Dragon. I would love to see a modern day version. I would love for it to stay within the African American culture and the Asian background, if at all possible, to make it true to the original story. But cast in 2022.
You don't
See,
want you
maybe
want
it's
him
not
walking down
Harlem.
Brooklyn with a big
Maybe,
straw hat.
maybe it's not Harlem. It could be, South Side LA. It doesn't have to be like in New York. It could be any urban environment where you have like this guy who's studying ancient martial arts, who's kind of culturally unaware, and then there's like these bad guys, like how Cobra Kai now is so popular, which we'll get into. Bringing karate back to like mainstream discussion, kung fu, but from the Last Dragon movie point of view.
Who would play the main character?
It would have to be.
What about that kid from the Pokemon movie with Ryan? What's
Does
his
he know
name?
martial arts? I mean, the
It
original
doesn't have.
guy did know martial arts. That's why they cast. He was a terrible actor, but he knew martial arts. That's why he was casted.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. The kid, the tall kid from the Pokemon movie.
I know you're talking about light skinned black guy. Um,
Ryan Reynolds. Just cast Ryan
Black
Reynolds.
Ranger.
Black
Black
Never
Ranger.
cast
Ranger.
Ryan Reynolds.
He's the voice of Pikachu. Don't you know?
It was Pikachu, not Pokemon. I'm looking at Pokemon. That wasn't a movie. It was Detective.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, Pokemon the movie is a different thing. So
I'm
yeah, I
sure
thought
there's
he
an actor out there. Justice Smith.
was just
That's his name. Yeah, I mean,
not bad, not
if he
bad. So
bulks up a little bit, he's a little thin. Oh my god, yeah, he's very
God,
thin.
go back and watch that movie. That kid's a rail who's playing the
But
main kid.
he was toned. He was tall. He was tall. He was
Yeah,
toned
but
and
but
tall.
but that kid, you want a skinny kid who can tone up. You don't want a big bulky guy.
That's true.
You, you don't
Yeah.
want to stick the Rock in there.
Good point. Good point. Good point.
What about Franklin from Snowfall?
The who? What? The what?
He's I know who you're talking about.
I don't know his real name. I just know
How
him as
tall is
Franklin
he?
from Snowfall.
Don't
Yeah,
worry, I
he's
call
got he's
everybody
got
by their
He's
he
character
tall.
doesn't
names.
look he doesn't look innocent though. He's gotta look like a little like naive, like he doesn't know,
Mhm.
he looks like he's still gonna be a drug dealer. Like he doesn't look like who just happens to know martial arts.
Wow.
Now, there's your update.
He could be the bad guy. He could be show enough.
Enough.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He's
Yeah,
got
that's good.
a menacing look in his face. Kiss
Yeah.
my Converse. Kiss my SBs. Dunks. Kiss my J's. Yo, we can modernize this, man. Dude, how do
I
you
like
own a
it.
script idea? Like, what's the next step for me to own
Write a
this idea?
script. That's the next step. Bring out the funny in that. All right, Mike. Tell us
Yeah,
what you got.
so I still think live action Thundercats can, if done well, would work. But the other one is my other favorite cartoon. It's the Robotech, probably just the Macross Saga for now.
Of course.
How has that not? How
I
has
am
that
like
not?
all my life I've been waiting for the live action version of that. So
What did
and
you think of the giant robots of blah 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 movie? Whatever was it?
of which one?
The one before Godzilla. What was the
Oh,
giant
Pacific
robot?
Rim.
Pacific
Yeah, they
Rim.
were
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, when that came out, I was like, "There's no excuse. There's no reason you can't make a
But they did not
good mecha
move
movie."
like Robotech. Like Robotech got mech suits have a specific like lightness to their movement. Those things
Yeah.
fly
Oh
real
yeah.
fast. I mean, I guess CG you can do whatever the frick you want. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they can do it now. I think they can do it now.
they can do
Big
it now,
budget.
right? And so like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, something.
oh, it would have been
The word was Toby Maguire had bought the rights because he wanted to do the and then he was working with Sony, and then it just died, like the whole concept or whatever. So I don't. It'll probably never happen at this point. And now that the animation studio owners are in conflict with there's a whole big thing I won't get into, but
right.
there's a whole big legal battle over stuff. So
Yeah, that's
probably not in my lifetime.
Which is sad, but
Yeah.
All right. So I had a couple of options. Now, someone already screwed up Battle Angel. I know there's fans out there, so like that was already screwed up. Somebody already screwed up GI Joe, also one of my favorites. So all of those things have already been made and already fucked. So, do you guys remember Mask?
Oh, I love
yes.
Matt.
Yep.
Oh man.
I know it would be super stupid. Like you'd have to make it some sort of parody to have transforming cars with big guns, masks coming down on the drivers. So that would be bad, but
That would be.
but
This, I mean, you could go the serious route. You could go the more comedy route. Like it depends how you want to do it, right? But
put Ryan Reynolds in the front of
there
it,
you go. Yeah,
and
and
The
it'd be
Rock
perfect.
and Gal Gadot. Ooh, there you go. We got the biggest movie release of the year. No, I guess my honest opinion, one that would actually I think would work, is Metroid. I think you could make a killer
Yeah.
space alien battle mech suit, like mini mech suit, cool movie. I think you could make something
Was there
really
an
good out of
ever
it.
Mega Man movie? No, right? There was
No,
never a
I
Mega
don't
Man
think
movie.
so.
There's been talk of a Mega Man movie recently, but I always thought Mega Man wasn't as cool as
As Metroid?
Metroid.
Oof, we disagree on that, but okay.
Is Metroid anime?
It's a video
No, it's a
game.
video game.
Nintendo video game.
So
Oh.
Samus is she's got this suit. It's got a like almost like a ball shape because she can roll up into a ball and attack the enemies, and she's got like a big gun arm.
Yeah, it's
I don't
classic.
remember
Classic
this.
80s
All
video
right,
game.
well, but yeah,
I
I think
played
that one.
Zelda in the 80s.
And Why isn't
Zelda.
Zelda?
I know Zelda should
Why?
That's
be.
another one. Like,
Yeah.
why are we
How?
getting another Sonic movie? Where we
I
get,
think
like,
Nintendo's the problem here. Nintendo has just completely failed to monetize their IP into entertainment.
Well, we're
they're
getting a
stuck,
Chris
stuck in
Pratt
Mario
Mario,
Brothers, yeah.
so
They're
But they're
failing
stuck.
again. They're
yeah.
failing again right now. I can tell you right now. They suck at it. They haven't even made a cool anime out of it. Like if you don't want Americans touching it,
I
fine, make a
know.
cool anime out of it. but shit, they have failed all of the entertainment possibilities.
Well, I hope
So
they're listening to us and they can meet your expectations
they'll never meet
soon.
my expectations.
So you know what? I was thinking because you mentioned the mask, and I was thinking of those '80s cartoons. Do y'all remember the Bionic Six?
Yes.
I
Yes.
I
do
wouldn't. That would
not
be a good.
remember them at all.
Really?
Oh
I
yeah, it was on
don't.
Channel 11
I
Yeah, that
remember
WPAN
was.
back in the
I
day.
think
Are
that
you
would be a
talking
good
about the
family.
Bionic Man? Are you talking
No,
about the
no, no,
Bionic?
no, no,
No,
no,
no,
no.
this was a
Bionic Six.
cartoon. This was a family that got into an accident, and they all had different bionic implants in them, and then they started working.
Bionic Six. Ooh,
Yep.
ooh, ooh.
That
We
was
fight
Yeah,
funny.
look it up on
together.
YouTube.
I know the whole freaking intro song in my head, dude.
Maybe I
I
was
think that'd be a
watching
good movie.
MTV.
Bionic Six. And they were adopted kids too. They were like
Right.
all biological
They all
kids.
had different abilities and stuff. Yeah, it
See?
was cool.
Diversity, inclusion. That could be
Yep.
modernized 2022.
Oh
Yep,
yeah.
that Captain Planet. Where's Captain Planet?
Oh no. It's too controversial right now. You know, conservatives or
Yeah.
Yeah,
What about Speed Racer?
Oh, they did
that
that
has a
movie.
modern adaptation. There's
Oh,
right
they
they
now
did
did.
do that movie,
there's
yeah.
a huge response, like a swell of people who are now calling that one of the best movies for some reason.
What?
Yeah,
James,
it
do your Speed Racer impersonation.
Go
go
Speed
speed,
Racer, go.
No, you
go
have a better
speed,
one than that.
go.
Yeah, when I
Yeah,
was younger. When I was younger.
So have Little Man do it.
He's
Peanut
he's
Head.
on a he's on NBA 2K22 tournament right now. He drew out like a whole chart, like a March Madness chart, of who gets a bye, who's like the third seed. I'm like, all right, at least you guys are learning math.
Yeah, learning spreadsheets. Start early.
Yeah,
All right,
right.
so that's fun. We can watch our favorite childhood dreams come and die on the screen. That would be wonderful. Okay, let's move on. And when we come back from a little break here, we're going to talk Ghostbusters Afterlife. Hey, everybody, we are back and we are going to be talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife. This is the 2021 um, action adventure comedy fantasy. I guess it's not action, just adventure comedy fantasy.
Adventure, thriller.
That's right. Um, when a single mom and her two kids arrive in a small town, they begin to discover their connection to the original Ghostbusters and the secret legacy their grandfather left behind. Now, this is PG-13, directed by Jason Reitman. You would recognize that name. Um, Ivan Reitman was. Did he direct the first one, or was he just a producer for the first
He
one?
directed
He
the first one.
directed the
Okay.
first one.
So Jason is credited here as a writer and director. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
you may know him from Juno, which was a pretty solid movie, and a couple other things I really have not seen. Whiplash, executive producer. That doesn't matter. We don't care about producers on things.
Yeah.
The other writer, though, the other writer is Gil Kanan, and I popped his open and Monster House. Did you guys ever see Monster House? It's
I
a
think
kid,
so.
like
Yes,
a
Nope.
kid's
it's
movie.
animated. Yeah,
Yeah,
I seen it.
and the 2015 Poltergeist movie.
That one I did not see.
So he's a little on the horror side of things, which I think really shows here in this movie. Um, and starring Mr. Paul Rudd, doing a great, bringing a lot of great comedy to this movie. Finn Wolfhard and McKenna Grace really round out your main characters. Um, and spoilers to everybody. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
You've heard of this. You've seen this, right? You know what that is.
It is unavoidable. It is your destiny.
Is this not why you are here?
Do or do not. There is no choice.
Knock that shit off.
We get Annie Potts, Sigourney Weaver, Ernie Hudson, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, all reprising their roles in various quantities, but they all reprise their roles here in this movie. which directly connects to the original 1984 and Ghostbusters 1 and 2 movies, skipping over the alternative universe version of Ghostbusters from a few years ago. Um, I'm just gonna ask you guys. We're gonna do this relatively quick. This isn't our full review, unless you
Nice.
guys really have something you want to talk about. But I love this movie. I think this was it caught me by surprise watching it. I just got so into it. My kids were into it. We were enjoying the whole thing. The light horror comedy, teen adventure mashed together, felt akin to the original, but its own thing, its own modern thing with these modern kid actors who are all killing it, and Paul Rudd being a great Paul Rudd, you know. So I loved it. What did you guys think? Let's go to
Yeah,
Mike.
I'll start at this. I also really enjoyed it. I was disappointed after the 2016
Mhm.
Paul Feige. Paul Feige is that his name? The
Paul,
The
Feige
all
guy
ladies
who did.
reboot.
Hmm? Yeah,
The
the
all
reboot
ladies reboot.
but it's the
with Kristen
husband.
Wiig.
It's the husband of what's her name. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So that one I was really disappointed because that one was terrible. And it wasn't for the cast. We got a lot of people were like, "Oh, the women were bad," but I'm a huge fan of Leslie Jones and Kristen Wiig, and I'm like Melissa McCarthy. I like half her stuff. So it was that wasn't the issue for me. The story was bad. The fact that they took the old Ghostbusters and made them totally different people. It was like a multiverse version of the Ghostbusters, right? So I'm glad they actually continued the story here, and it turned out way better than I thought it was going to be. A couple of gripes with it with the story, but other than that, I thought it was great.
All right, James.
I enjoyed it too. I'm not gonna say I loved it like overwhelmingly. I did like it a lot. I was surprised. It took me a while to really watch it because I don't know. I was afraid it was gonna be terrible, and Mike kept saying it was good, and then you said it was good. So popped it in, and like the first 10 minutes, I was engaged. I was like, okay, this is a much better start than I thought it was. It gave me just the right amount of nostalgic moments that I needed without being overwhelmingly campy, and the nice connections with the old cast in this third act came out pretty well. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't like as big budgeted as the movies I thought it'd be because it's in a small town. It's not in New York or another major urban city, so it wasn't that crazy. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I did.
All right, Brooks. Over to you.
I actually also enjoyed the movie. I feel like you guys, I know, all thought I was going to say
What?
that it was bad. I did
No,
in the
I
beginning.
didn't think that.
In the
Gotta play
beginning,
Lotto
I
now.
was like, I feel like I wanted to not like it in the beginning. It was a little slow for me, but mostly I just was like, "What is going on?" And then it I don't know, it got better and the story was interesting, and I agree, it had, like, the right amount of nostalgia without being super campy. It was interesting. Um, the ghosts were well done. They brought back the Marshmallow Man,
Oh, the
um,
little marshmallow
the
men
The
little
were
Little Marshmallows
marshmallows.
stole the show. They
hysterical.
stole the
Yeah,
show. My
Oh
favorite.
yeah,
My
yeah,
favorite part. It reminded
I
me of
like
Gremlins
that.
a little bit. You
A
mentioned that
little bit,
earlier.
I
Yeah.
could see that. It kind of felt like, um, this movie was made for people like our age that saw the movie in the theater as kids originally in 1984 and then now have kids and wanna watch it with their kids. Like, I
right.
felt like that was the perfect audience for this movie.
Yeah, and I thought they introduced a couple of interesting things that felt old but felt new yet because we really hadn't seen them. So specifically for me and my kids, we loved the gunner seat, and that entire chase scene through the town with the girl in the gunner seat and wrecking the town. And we were yelling, we were enjoying ourselves, we were into it. And then like they're like driving at at the bridge, and she's still out, and you're like, what the hell? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the fact that they kept the production sounds and audio edits from the original movie. So how the sound the trap makes, how the
mhm.
proton pack when you first hum it up, you turn it on,
Oh,
that
that
sound.
sound.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love
That's
that
like
they kept that, and then they're
Yeah.
trying to like update that to anything
that's
like
up there with like Optimus Prime voice as like a sound that
yeah,
you just
Hmm.
know what it is.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
That and when they fire the proton pack, right?
Yeah.
mhm.
That
So
voice sound coming
just
out.
calling out McKenna Grace, man, that
He
girl
was great.
did
Hmm.
carry this movie. Like, and
Yeah.
not because other people were bad, but just because like she was dynamic in her character and she was interesting. But whoever decided to call that kid podcast really, really needs to step away.
Yeah, that was too on the nose, and I didn't like it for obvious reasons.
All right. I mean, he was fine. He was a fun little character. I understand what he was there for. The actor did his role, but whatever that name was, it was just distracting.
That's
Who? You talking
funny.
about
It could
podcast?
have just could have
Yeah.
just
It
called him
didn't bother
TikTok.
me.
Could have just called him TikTok at that point. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's even better. That's a more interesting, fun name that can have like double meaning or something like that. But
Maybe they couldn't get the
podcast,
rights for that.
right?
oh, true.
Oh, so
Yeah, who
Friendster.
knows?
Call him Friendster. Okay, what did you guys think of? So the horror aspects. Did you guys think some of the jump scares and all that worked? Was that interesting? Was that fun? I don't watch horror movies, so you got. I'm at a different.
I watch horror movies, and it didn't land on me as a horror movie. I didn't get any other than maybe one or two moments, and when they're in the Temple of Doom for Gozer. Some of that stuff kind of made me feel like not so much of like Amityville horror, but more like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, like
So
Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean,
I would
it
say
was probably on the same level as the original Ghostbusters, right?
yeah,
The same type of
like the first movie, maybe not
like
so
the
much the second one.
librarian, like the
right.
librarian and
Yes,
that
the
kind of
Yeah,
first
stuff.
movie.
Yeah, so
and the gatekeeper and the keymaster taking over somebody's body. It's like that suspense, kind
mhm.
of,
Hmm.
catching up to them, right? So
All right. Okay, what did you guys think of the nostalgia moment? So, did you expect the entire Ghostbuster crew to just pop in and show up and not save the day? I was worried. This is where it worried me. I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna save the day and it's gonna kind of wreck this whole movie and it's gonna take it away from the kids. But then they
No.
kind of combine the two.
Chris, I thought it'd be more like freaking the new Disney Star Wars movies where you would see them only at the end, final moment, welcoming, the kids after they save the day and be like, okay, now your journey really begins, and the next sequel, and the next movie, Ghostbusters, Resurrections, whatever. I didn't think they'd be that involved in this movie. So that was a
I was
nice
more
surprise.
surprised by the Andrew Garfield cameo, because he really kept that on the wraps for
Yeah,
the whole
That
thing.
Spider Man cameo really
Sorry,
kind of
wrong movie, wrong movie.
Wrong movie. But we did hear Bill Murray had a cameo and Ernie Hudson.
Yeah, we knew like they
Um,
were gonna be in it, so
yeah, but I thought it was
Did
gonna
we
I
be
know
did
that
not.
Ernie Hudson? Because I thought Ernie Hudson said he was never contacted. That was
like
was
nobody denied they were
right.
gonna be in it,
But
yeah.
nobody was really
and so
asking all of that. But
yeah,
and
I knew
giving it
for
to him.
sure Bill Murray definitely that was confirmed that he was.
right. And I knew Dan
Yeah,
Aykroyd, yeah. Um, but I liked it. When it comes to the nostalgia, though, this is probably my only gripe with the movie is that we rehashed the whole Gozer thing. Like I wish they had come up with a new baddie. Like you're in
much
a
like
new
Star
town
Wars.
and huh?
Much like Star
Oh,
Wars.
like Death Star 3? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Palpatine.
wish it was like a new baddie that Egon had said, "Oh man, I better keep an eye on this thing and move to the town," and then something else besides the two dogs and there's only Zool, right? So
Right. It's like he went to the JJ school of rebooting a franchise. Just take an old
yeah,
bad
I just
guy.
thought that was kind of lazy, for the
Yeah,
story.
it could have
I
been
thought
more.
it connected it.
I mean, but you already have the Ghostbusters, you have the car, you have the weapons, the traps. I mean, you have so much tying it to the original. You don't. Do
True.
you need to bring the same bad
Same bad
guy
guy
back for the story?
Mhm.
You know,
with the same dogs. I happen to get the same two people that are cross,
right?
stars. Yeah,
Mhm.
So
I hear you on
I
that
mean,
one.
Other than that, like I said, I really enjoyed the movie, but that's probably my only gripe with it was the bad guy, the choice of
I
bad
would
guy.
agree. That's my
Yeah,
only gripe as well. I can think of.
Okay,
yeah.
what did you guys think of Egon's appearance at the end? Not saying a word, but they digitally added uh
Mm-hmm.
why am I blanking on his name? Um
Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis.
Harold
They
Ramis.
they
Thank
Yeah,
you.
digitally
Yeah.
added the ghost of Harold Ramis to give hugs and kind of looks at people, but no more. No
yeah.
talking, no
I
lines,
thought that
no
was
nothing.
done well.
I thought it was done well. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
Is he dead?
he is
Yes,
dead.
Yes.
Harold
Yeah,
Ramis
Okay,
is.
he
He
died
is
a few
actually
years
dead.
ago. Yeah.
But
got
let's
it.
say that
That makes sense to me now.
Finn Wolfhard and McKenna Grace, they're I mean, the lineage looks right.
It looked like it could be
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my
his real
god.
offspring. Yeah, it looked like it could be his real offspring.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
for 100% was positive they're his real offspring.
Right? And
So who did Egon marry and have the daughter?
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
wasn't
It wasn't Janine.
Janine, no.
right. So they
Because
never
you
go into
know at
that, yeah.
the sorry guys, in Ghostbuster 2, Janine hooks up with Dark Helmet, right? What's his face?
Oh yeah. The Keymaster.
Yeah. So
Oh
Honey, I Shrunk the
yeah.
Kids.
right.
I can
Yes.
name all the movies. I think.
That guy.
Well, he's retired from acting. That's why he wasn't in this one. So
I think he showed up back
no.
temporarily. He no, he was in a he was in like a Cricket wireless commercial or something like that.
Oh Jesus.
Oh,
He's retired.
yeah. No, he wasn't in the movie though. So
Rick
No.
Moranis.
Rick
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 Moranis.
Moranis, right?
Moranis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
No, but yeah, I liked that they were able to mix the ending between the old guys coming back and saving the day, but not overtaking from the new kids participating in the finale. So it was a nice mix of that finale. All right,
Right.
last thing. What do you guys think of the whole after credit thing with Ernie Hudson buying the old
Firehouse.
firehouse and basically saying, "Hey, we're about to start another one." Do you guys think
I,
it would
So
work?
what did So I have a question here though, because what did Ray say got turned into a Starbucks then?
I think he said. Yeah, I
I
think he
thought
said the firehouse. I think he said the firehouse.
But it didn't look like it got turned into anything when he
Yeah.
bought it. So that was weird.
I'm wondering if that
Yeah.
was
Good
like
plot hole catch.
I don't know if I couldn't tell if he was because he said that much earlier.
He said
Mm,
some famous actor came and bought all of Tribeca. Shots fired at
De
Robert
Niro.
De Niro. And then the old firehouse is a new Starbucks now. But maybe he said I think it's a new Starbucks now.
It could be. I'll watch it again and see.
I'm not
But
gonna watch. Yeah.
yeah,
But
that's why it
'Cause
didn't make sense. When he walked in and it was like it
dust.
looked
you
like it
think
just been collecting dust, right?
let's not
So
stop what didn't make sense for me. What didn't make sense for me is she was rewiring her house and gave him 220 volts, and the containment unit was still operational in the basement. I kind of didn't
right?
see massive kilowatts being used on a yearly basis, like
Yeah,
with no
man. Especially
accountability.
when what's his face had it ordered shut down.
Yeah,
Remember?
Pennington, Dick Pennington, whatever his name was.
Yes,
Right.
this man has no dick.
All right, why don't we give our
Shut it down.
grades
Shut
and
it down.
like two words or a sentence about what you thought of Ghostbusters Afterlife. Brooks, I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go with like a B. Um, you know, watch it for nostalgia's sake. If you have kids, watch it with them. But overall, a good like addition to the Ghostbusters series.
All right, awesome, James.
I'm gonna give it a slightly higher grade. I'm gonna give it a B plus. They did a lot of stuff here well. The story was written well. The casting was phenomenal. Um, so the production on this, you could tell, even in a little town, was pretty good. The only reason why I'm not giving it a higher grade is because, as far as this plot and having the main antagonist be a rehash of an older baddie, to me that was very disappointing. So like a little bit lazy, I should say. So that's keeping me from giving anything higher than a B plus. So B plus it
All
is.
right, Mike.
Yep, same for me. It's gonna be a B plus for me as well. Same, pretty much the same gripe. Is just a rehash of the villain. Other than that, good story, good characters. I would like to see more of this universe here, this continuation of these characters and this story. Like, bring it, you know.
Same.
All right. I'm actually going to go up to an A minus because I just had so much fun watching this. I thought they got the tone. This is the thing about reboots is sometimes they can't quite land a tone between just pure nostalgia or completely leaving the past behind and letting it die. You know, um, but I agree with what you said about the main bad guy being a weak kind of weak sauce. I mean, it worked. It worked for the story, but I hope if they do another one that it's not Dan Aykroyd trying to relive his childhood. Like I hope they bring these kids forward because they did really well. They created characters that were interesting,
Maybe
and
Ernie
keep it.
Hudson could be like the Nick Fury to like the young
Yeah, there you
young
go.
Ghostbusters.
Perfect.
He finds them cases and he sends them out. You know.
And you don't just have to be in New York. I wouldn't mind them finding
Yeah,
new locations. I thought the new location helped. If this was set in New York and they redid Gozer and the whole thing,
I
that would
know.
have been
Then
Uh,
fantastic.
yeah,
then we'd be talking about C
Right?
or
Yeah, yeah.
D plus
They
grade. Yeah.
so I really liked it. Loved it actually. I've given a lot of high grades this year. What the hell?
I don't know.
Look at it. This is probably our highest graded thing so far. From I know it's a 2021 movie, but our 2022 reviews, this is probably our highest consistent graded item so far. And congratulations to Reitman for taking over his dad's business and killing it.
yeah. Well,
All
his
right,
dad was still a producer on the thing, so his dad's still collecting checks, you know.
all right, keep it in the family.
It's still in the family.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, son, go do the work. I'm gonna sit here and yeah.
All right, so we're gonna take a minute break, and when we come back, we are talking our other '80s updated property, Cobra Kai. Never dies.
Quiet. My pronouns is she and her. No, it's sensei. It's student.
All right, welcome back, everybody, and we're here to talk about Cobra Kai season 4. Oh, and this season on Cobra Kai, if you've watched the previous seasons, I hope you have because it's a good show. Little heavier on nostalgia than most, but in a way that updates the characters positively. So in this season, we're working toward the 51st All Valley Tournament, 51st 51st annual All Valley Tournament, in which on the line is closing down the dojos. Um, we get our return of Thomas Ian Griffith as Terry Silver, a couple of new characters like Dallas Young as young Kenny, and all of your favorite characters are back with all of the teen drama and angst, even teen drama for the adults.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
You've heard of this. You've seen this, right? You know what that is.
It is unavoidable. It is your destiny.
Is this not why you are here?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Knock that shit off.
And so I'm going to start with James. How number one, please. I have not watched the last episode. I've watched 9 episodes out of the 10. So just don't say who won. That's all I ask.
Sucks to be you then.
Otherwise, pretty spoiler filled here. Tell me what you think of this 4th season of Cobra Kai, James.
I definitely. This is my favorite season. I think I've been watching this show since it was on YouTube. I have a YouTube Premium account, so I knew about it before anyone else was really talking about the show. And I was afraid when the Netflix um, acquirement happened. I was like, oh man, Netflix is probably gonna, replace the writers, production. They're gonna throw a lot of money at it. They're gonna make a big blockbuster thing, and they didn't. Season 3 came out to be very good, and I thought season 3 was the best. And then season 4 just took it to a whole other level. Um, and they did it by also not just analyzing like the two main plot points is obviously Daniel and Johnny, but also they brought in new dynamic relationships such as Terry Silver and Kreese, They brought in a new kid, actually a couple kids, but the main one would being Kenny. And the parallel of Kenny's story and Daniel's son kind of, it's so similar to Karate Kid 1. New
Yeah,
kid from
that kid I
Jersey
thought
moves in.
disappeared. Like I was like, oh, they got rid of his
Yeah,
son
they
in
got
season
son
two.
in, and so I like how this show's able to. I want to say regurgitate. It sounds terrible, but they're able to like repeat some of the plot points from the previous movies in a new fashion and do it really well. Where this is the only show that myself and both my kids watch together nonstop, and we're all emotionally engaged from the first episode, which is tough. You got my personality, you got my son's personality, my daughter's personality. We're all in different age groups and different life experiences. But three of us could connect to this season. And we all like, some moments there was tears, some moments that we were high fiving each other. Eric cursed by accident at one scene. So I thought this season was the best season so far. And without spoiling the ending, it looks like season 5 might be like the Breaking Bad season 5 equivalent. We shall see.
All right, Brooks, what do you
I
think
feel
of
like
this
I
season?
do want to spoil the ending.
That doesn't
I
work.
know, right? I mean,
no, no mercy, no
they
mercy.
did say we are coming back for another season. So that is great. I kind of agree. It was like it's super campy, but nostalgic. And Kenny really had me all in the feels. I really was going to shed some tears for him. So I thought that was a great addition, like a new character. I think Sam's a little bitch. Um,
Who?
You
Who?
are right.
Sam?
Sam
Daniel's
LaRusso is a little bitch. She really angers
Uh,
me. This is how I know when I'm
they
she
really
really pushed
did.
her this season.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
This is
did. But
like
you see, she got
she
it from her mom. Look ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, but this is like when you mentioned Breaking Bad, I was like, this is the season that she breaks bad. I felt like not like
Mhm.
all the way, but you see her go. When she goes
Yeah.
up to Tori when Tori comes back to school and is like, "Don't fuck with
Yeah.
me," that kind of thing.
Yeah. And
Um,
Mm.
she's. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, but I always feel like when I get angry at characters or want to cry for characters, that's when I know I'm super into the show. When
Sure.
I feel all of their emotions. So I thought it was really good. I'm really excited for the next season. The one thing that I keep going back to is I'm like, why are all these adults so concerned about the All Valley Karate tournament?
This is that
I,
universe where
I don't know. You're in
karate's just
California. You tell
magic.
me. You live in that area. Is it how it
First
is
of
in
all,
California and LA?
I do not live in the valley. Okay, thank you.
Okay, my bad. My bad. My bad.
But I'm like this one dude, right? What's his name? Terry Silver. He has
Mhm.
a
Hmm.
whole, is that who it was? He has a whole billionaire life
Yeah.
somewhere, probably in Malibu or something. And he's kicks a really expensive wine bottle and is like, fuck it, I'm coming back to you know what I mean? And I'm just like,
So
why
much
do you
drama.
care?
So
Yeah,
much drama in that
Because
wine
Cobra
cellar.
Kai never dies. That's why.
That's
Yeah.
right.
clearly.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, I also enjoyed this season a lot. Yeah, probably my favorite so far. So it keeps getting better and better. My gripe when we did our review of last season, and I thought it was a little heavy on the teeny bopper drama. I think they toned it down a bit this season, which was good, um, and concentrated more on the adults trying to sort through their issues. Um, I'm with Brooksy there. Sam turned into a real bitch, and hopefully she gets back on track or whatever. And I felt bad for the new kid too, and then the whole arc with Daniel's son, being the bully. So, which goes to the original theory that Daniel always was the bully, and this is just passed down now. So,
Lapuso. That was Eric's favorite
Oh,
line.
No, it was
oh,
Lapusso.
Lapusso,
Lapuso.
yeah.
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 That's Eric's favorite
Emphasis
line.
on the puss,
Mm,
James.
Lapuso.
There
yeah.
you go.
Lapuso.
And some of the in the tournament at the end. I'm not going to spoil it, but I was impressed with some of the martial arts in there.
Which is what I was telling you when we were talking about the Matrix Resurrections. I
Right.
said, listen, I'm seeing some level of fight choreography here in this campy kiddie show
Yeah,
with adults
exactly.
better than $100 million movie with Oscar level choreographers.
All right,
Somebody just, you know,
I was
Yeah, so they
fighting.
had the kids doing, like, when you compare it to like the original movie and stuff, like the choreography of that is shit compared to what they had these kids doing here, the jumps and flips and all that. Because when they added, I don't know if you
The
saw that
skills
they added
skills
the skills
competition.
the
competition.
skills, right, and they were jumping, breaking boards and stuff. I thought, okay, that's cool. They're actually showing off some skills. So
Yeah,
I
I
was
I
impressed with
fought
that as well.
this, but yeah, this they definitely upped the choreography from
Yeah,
like they peaked in the first 3 seasons. The peak was the fight in the school. That was it. Like that was the peak.
yeah.
This they really did some work, and the kids have obviously been doing this for a couple of seasons now. You can see they've all improved. Even if they're all doing flat standard front kicks and
Yeah, it is
you know
karate, guys. It's not kung fu, but
right
yeah,
Right, right.
it's but some of their moves, some of their kicks, some of their spins, they've improved quite a bit, and it's really solid.
wait to see the final. And you know, Brooks and Mike were shitting on Sam. With rightfully, you should shit on her character. I think they're writing her that way for some sort of redemption arc, probably by the end of the show.
Yeah,
But
hopefully, right.
but
Yeah,
you
they're all
have
going
to
to get
give
redemption
you
arcs
have
by
to
the end
give
of the show.
credit without spoiling it. You have to give her credit, her character in the final episode,
yeah,
what she was able to do without spoiling it. That I didn't
Right.
think any of the other characters were able to do when it came to actual fighting style.
So what
yeah.
I
True.
before I do mine, I just want to say on that topic is the dance fight couples thing at the prom
Prom.
was a really cool use of combination of characters where at first it's the girls fighting and then Diego comes
Hmm.
in and stops her, but then he gets attacked, and then what's his name comes in and then he gets attacked, but they block and they go back and forth, they say a little thing
And
to
then
each other.
Stingray comes in and messes that up. But yeah,
Right. So that was
Stink
cool.
Ray.
Right. Stink
Stingray.
Ray. So that was fun. They used that choreography for interest, for fun, for like the whole shebang. That was good. All right. So I did write down in my little notes better choreography. So I definitely did agree that. But I'd say for this season, um, the show continues to surprise me when they push drama but not all of the same direction. It's always from different and surprising angles. So the Terry Silver thing, when they announced Terry Silver, I was like, oh my god, I know what I'm getting. I'm gonna get a rehash of Karate Kid 3. This big bad guy comes in and he makes everybody tougher, blah blah. Blah. But they did some interesting back and forth with him and Kreese, with him beating up Stingray because he's drunk, with him like the first introduction of him saying, "Look, dude, I went to therapy. I figured some shit out. Why was I attacking a
I
teenager?"
was coked up in the 80s.
Yeah, that was great. I thought that was a great introduction to a character I expected to just be the flat 80s bad guy he was, you know, 30, 40 years ago, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah,
So that was great. And then what I noticed this season, what I really enjoyed was people learning the same lessons and getting different things out of the same lessons. So, Brooks, you brought up Sam and Tori at school. So we got this interesting thing where Sam's mom is really trying to power Tori, like just get on her to get her away from the family. But then she starts to feel like, oh shit, I'm a mom and this girl's in trouble, and it really turns her around. So she starts helping her, and this upsets Sam, blah, blah, blah. So she gets back into school, and Sam doesn't know what to do. So Sam goes and talks to her old friend. We saw her last, was it season 3 that we last saw her?
Season two was
Season
the last time
2.
we saw her. Yeah.
And her friend says, "Look, I went to a new school. I didn't. I took my Cobra Kai lesson and I attacked my problem, but in a positive way. I became friends with somebody I expected to be a bully, and now we're really good friends. See, I used this lesson, but with a positive spin." And you're like, oh, okay. So Sam here has now sees what she's been learning and how to use it with a positive light. And what does she do? She goes up and threatens the girl in school instead of taking she takes the lesson and goes a completely different direction with it. And
But
valid or not,
Chris,
it's an interesting to see these lessons being pushed and the two different the styles being used. Sometimes one works, sometimes a different one works, and they do a really good job with that.
Let me just jump on that real quick. That's a great
Mhm.
topic. That was one of the things I want to talk about today. Was I've been watching this particular season more so than the previous ones from the lens of being a Star Wars fan and knowing the Star Wars lore and the myths, the dark side, the light side of the Force. I think a lot of these characters are doing their own journey, whether to the light side or to the dark side. Like for example, Kenny. Kenny came in, he was being bullied. He just wanted to be able to fit in and defend himself. So his brother pivots him to Cobra Kai. And of course, you feel for him. You realize, okay, he needs to learn how to defend himself, be more confident. But then comes like all of the dark side teachings, right? And
Mhm.
you start seeing when he's in the library and he goes Batman mode against the three bullies.
That was
You
funny.
see him. You see him going dark, right? Johnny and Daniel themselves, there's a moment they're learning each other's styles, and
And
you
you're
think
feeling good.
and you think Johnny's getting it, he's in balance
Right.
and stuff like that, but he's not quite. He's just learning how to use that to do the same thing that he would do in Eagle Fang. He's not learning Miyagi's teachings. He's just learning an additional style. Daniel's even worse. Daniel is
Oh,
like
Daniel's so stuck.
yeah, Daniel is so stuck in his ways that even when he has a little fight with the hockey team and he's doing the Eagle
Oh, he
Fang
kicks
thing,
the shit. That was fun.
yeah, he's still Daniel. He's still Lapuso Senior. You know. So and then the ultimate one to me really is Kreese and Terry
Silver.
Silver.
Silver. Yeah.
Without giving you the final episode, you can see that master and apprentice, the Sith,
Yeah.
really starting to shift throughout the entire season, before we get to the finale. And I think that to your point about people's lessons and taking them a different way, if you slap in like the Star Wars background, you can see how teachings can take you down the wrong path really quick. And I actually listened to a podcast, shout out to comicbook.com, with the show creators, and they talked about most of the writers are huge Star Wars fans, and they do not that they purposely trying to write
Mhm.
stuff in there about Star Wars, but they do think about the Star Wars mythos when they put together a couple plot devices together. So shout out to that.
So
And
one thing I thought was interesting also was how Robbie was using his Miyagi-Do training at Cobra Kai
Mhm.
to teach them how to counter it, right? So I
Yes,
thought that was an interesting take too. Uh,
and episode 9, Sam basically is told that she's not going to win with Miyagi Do, and she's able
right.
to switch and go the other way. But her dad's not happy with it. This is
No, but
where Daniel's such a pain in the ass because he doesn't go, "Oh, you've incorporated a new lesson and you've upped
yeah.
your game." He
He's
goes,
like the Jedi when they didn't see the Sith taking over; they were stuck in the old ways.
you're right.
um, a wonderful little surprise was after their son got you know suspended for bullying, and then his cousin comes over with his girlfriend, and he's like, "No, she's a psychologist. You should talk to her." And they're like, "Oh,
Played by Ralph Macchio's real life daughter, by the way.
right." And she comes
Oh,
in and she
really?
yeah. And you're like, oh, she's gonna go talk to what's his name? No, she sits the parents down, basically tells them you've been shit
I
parents.
love that. I really love
Yeah.
that part.
They do these little things that surprise you, and you're like, oh, well, that didn't go exactly where I thought it was
They
gonna
hold the adults accountable too. I mean, not they, meaning like the show
go. Hmm.
forces the adults to be accountable in some of these things, which you wouldn't imagine would have been the story.
Well, and that's what's really getting me is that the show is showing you as much. Really, Daniel and Johnny, if those two could just like fucking grow up a little bit, none of this shit falls down. Like none of this stuff happens. There's no crease return. There's no problematic fights in school. Like these two, just cannot learn the lesson.
Right,
And
that they're trying to teach.
right, and
Correct. Yeah.
but they're only teaching half a lesson too, because even
Right.
Daniel doesn't. He's not Miyagi. Um,
Right.
and also another interesting thing, and I get this whenever you get these parent-child shows where you get this dynamic, and the parents trying to teach the kid a lesson, but they're teaching it like the kid is just supposed to just accept it because they've said it. Whereas Daniel only accepted the training to wash cars and paint fences because he was in trouble. He was getting his butt kicked. This guy helped him out, and he kind of learns this lesson slowly. Doesn't really know how it's working, and then oh, okay, this is great. This works. But he's like, "Hey, kid, wash my cars. You're gonna learn a lesson." Like
Right.
Daniel, his
There's
kid's
no
like,
context behind it. It's like, just do this.
right, his kid like goes and hires somebody to come and watch the cars.
I
Yeah.
loved
That was
that.
funny. Yeah, I love that too.
So it's fun that they're showing you like as the parents, they're just Daniel specifically is out there going, "This is how you learn because this is how I learned," but with no context for the kids of how, why, in what situation he was in his life to be
See,
accepting of
but
this kind
but
of.
you have to think about when Daniel did it as well. There was no context either. So he
No, no, no,
saw.
No,
no, no,
no,
No,
no.
there
he was
was
being beat
Daniel's
context.
up.
context. Daniel's
Yes.
context was he was saved from getting his ass kicked by this
Yeah.
guy, and he wanted to just he needed a father figure, and
Correct.
this guy basically took him in.
And
These
also
kids,
Right, but you're
Daniel
talking
was
about.
hard headed. Daniel was hard headed
No,
all
I know,
three
but
movies.
I'm talking about the lessons, like wash the cars. Miyagi said, "I'm going to teach you karate, no questions asked." Right?
yeah, but
Remember?
but
And
but
he said, "You're going to go wash these cars, and then you're going to wax them." So
right.
Daniel tried to do the same thing, but I think the point was this generation has so many distractions now and
Actually,
so many
I
conveniences.
think you're actually missing what I'm saying, and
Okay.
the point here is Daniel was in a headspace that Miyagi took advantage of to show him a way of learning that he didn't know he was learning. But
Hmm.
Daniel's not doing that. This kid knows. Daniel says, "Hey, you want to learn karate? Wash this car." The kid's
Right.
like,
And hold on, and Chris,
"I
even
know what
then,
you're doing, but it doesn't. It's not working. The kid's not in the right headspace
No,
to
Right.
it's
work."
yeah. Well,
but
that's my
even with
point. He
that,
doesn't want to. There's
even
a
with that,
yeah.
Daniel was very stubborn, especially in the first movie, and then even more so in the third movie. But
Hmm.
Miyagi was patient. He was
Right.
always willing
Right.
to let him
He's
make
a
his
better teacher.
mistakes
Yeah.
and then pick him up. When he went to Cobra Kai in the third movie, you know that hurt Miyagi. And then
Yeah.
what happened? Miyagi still came back and told him why it was wrong. Daniel's not doing that with these kids. Why they're doing why it's wrong? He's just giving up on
Right.
them and like, all right, you go to Eagle Fang, you stay. Like, he's not
Right.
as
There's
patient
no
and tolerant as
Right.
context
Miyagi.
behind it.
Right. He's getting mad at his daughter for learning other stuff and doing other stuff. It's
Right. He's just like, it's my way. Why doesn't everybody understand this is my way? And like, to me, he's actually the worst out of all of them between Crease, Johnny, Terry Silver. No, what's
Mhm.
his name? Terry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Terry
Silver. Yeah.
Silver.
Terry
Uh,
Silver.
why do I keep forgetting his name? Um, Daniel LaRusso is the worst out of all of them, actually, because he is so self righteous. He thinks he's like the best, and he thinks he knows what is the best for all the kids, and like but Crease is like, I don't really give a fuck what's best. I want him to fuck him up. You know what I mean? Like that's where he's at, and like what he's doing is actually working for
Yeah, that's
what
why
he
Terry
wants.
Silver. That's why Terry Silver said to Daniel when he came to meet him in his house, and then they were leaving. He just can't wait to wipe the mat with that pompous prick, like the arrogant prick. But he sensed it. Like this dude is ultra arrogant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Why don't we give our grades? James, do you have a grade
Uh,
for this season of Cobra Kai?
A+,
Ooh, big numbers, big numbers.
A+, coming
Letters,
out the
big
gates,
letters.
A+.
Big grade. Mike.
I think I'm gonna go A- on this one. I'm gonna reserve my A+. We'll see what happens next season.
All right. Brooks.
I will say, I know you haven't seen the final episode, but the final episode was so good to
Yeah,
That's
me.
why
It
I'm giving it an A
really
plus. That's why I'm giving it
tied
an A plus and not an A or A
and
minus. That final
yeah, it
episode.
tied everything together. There was I mean, it wasn't like a super shock of what happened, but you were still like, "Ooh, this is a good plot." Like it was so good that it really made the whole series for me. Um and I liked the lesson in the final episode, like
yeah.
Mhm.
the right people didn't always win, or the people that think they're doing it right, or they don't always win.
Right.
There's
And
always more than one way, right?
right,
Mhm.
there's always more than one way,
Yeah,
exactly. And so I think I'm gonna go an A. I'll do a solid A.
Okay.
nice.
I know I
Respectable.
haven't seen the last episode, and that's
You gotta
because
watch it.
I put this series off. I was like, I'm
Right
gonna
after
watch
this
it.
podcast, right
I'm gonna
after
watch
we
it.
end
I'm
this,
gonna
watch
watch
it.
it. I
You
was
better
like,
not do this next season. That's all I know.
no, but at the end of last season, like I wasn't like, oh man, I gotta get to the next season, and so like I started watching it, and like it grabbed you and more, and it built, and I just finished just before we started. I finished episode 9. I'm like, I gotta watch it. So, uh, with you guys giving high praises, and I will watch it, and I'll say next podcast if I change. But so far, I believe this is probably an A minus show. I really like it. It can feel a bit cheesy at times, but I think that's what it's going for. It's teaching good lessons. It doesn't always follow through entirely with those lessons, though. Like the stuff that's happening with the younger brother, it felt like it was building to something, but I don't know if it's that character gets anything in the final episode.
Keep
That would be
watching.
a lot.
Yep,
All
keep
right.
watching.
Well, I can change it. A minus so far. It's a great series. Always a surprise.
Don't forget, they gave us a Bloodsport connection moment. Oh my god, we didn't even talk about.
Bloodsport.
They
We didn't even talk
did.
about that, and they gave us the new character, the gymnast lady who was a debate team,
No, the
and then
debate team girl,
the
because they
debate team
tried to get the.
girl who knew Cynthia LaRock, who knew the '80s female martial arts.
Yeah,
Yo, there's so
Oh
many
yeah.
things we
I
could dig
wish I
into this
got more
show.
of her. I thought she was a cool introductory
Yeah.
character.
I hope they bring her in season 5. I feel like they
Yeah,
will. I feel like they're setting her up to be like bigger in season 5.
yeah,
Oh, it
All
was
right.
good to see Samantha's friend again, the one who had left the show,
yeah. You
even if
mentioned
it
that
was just for
earlier.
Yeah,
that one episode.
she
Yeah.
got a minute to try to give Sam a lesson, and Sam
Yeah.
was full. I'm not learning lessons right now.
The LaRussos were not learning lessons this season.
Right.
That's
Dark
true.
side.
That's right.
They're going
Uh,
on the
the
dark side,
the mom made a 180 about throughout the season.
which
She
I
came
like.
back
Yeah,
But
around.
she kind of
She's
she's
a
did.
helpful mom.
she's still like, "Oh, let me help you because I know better." That's how it felt
True.
like to me. You
That's
know what I
true. That's
mean?
Yeah.
Like,
true.
I'm better
Mm.
off, I know better, so I have to help you,
Well,
kind
they
of.
did give her. They did give her the little weak part story about how she was arrested once because she got
Oh
into.
my god.
Yeah, that part. All right, this is the part that was like, oh, this is kind of
I'm
weak.
glad it didn't ruin my life. I'm a rich white woman, and it didn't.
I
Right.
Anything less than
know.
didn't
You
ruin my life.
know. That
Yeah.
part, I was like, oof, cringy,
Yeah,
cringy.
that was a little cringy. I also still go back to the fact that, like, all of these old men are super into this high school tournament.
They
Okay,
had
okay.
Carrie Underwood do the
They
remake
That was
of
did.
funny.
"You're the
That was funny.
Best."
Well,
They
But
did.
if you really want to go there, it's like I've been saying all 3 other seasons. One gun solves everyone's problem on this show.
oh my god.
Wrong movie. That's like
Yeah.
Snowfall or something
Somehow
That's
else.
Snowfall.
there are no guns in this universe. I don't understand it.
No, it's karate is the superpower here.
I guess.
Karate could cut that bullet in half. No, it is. It's kind of crazy, but adults being way too into their high school sports is really not out of the realm of possibility. You see the headlines every once in a while of some woman like decides to poison her cheerleading daughter's and rival
That's
or something
right. That's
stupid.
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Some soccer coach decides to beat up a referee
Shit
who's
is real here
literally
in the
like
suburbs, man.
eight
Shit is
years
And
old.
real.
and
Yeah.
we also got to remember that Johnny peaked in high school, right? So
Yeah.
everything is that was the pinnacle of his
Oh,
success,
okay,
basically.
okay.
So
Can we talk about how devastating it was when Johnny was drunk and Miguel says he loves him, and then
And
oh
he says,
Johnny
I
"I
love
love
says,
you
you. I love
too,
you too,
Robbie."
Robbie.
Robbie,
Dude,
and
Serena
just
cried.
after he's
Oh,
told that what's her name tells him, or what's his name tells him that he isn't important. It's just he's trying to make up for not being with his kid.
yes.
I
Great
know.
Oh my
writing,
god.
man. There was a
yeah.
lot of tears in my house that episode, man. It
That's
was
why he
rough.
has to hop the bus and go to Mexico to find his
Yeah.
dad.
Spoiler, spoiler.
Oh,
Spoiler alert,
Okay,
sorry.
I just saw him I just saw him hurt himself. Did he yell "Sensei"
Yes,
when he
he
fell to
did.
the mat?
Yes, he yelled
hmm
sensei and then went to black.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh man, that was uh,
All right, we're about to
good.
spoil it,
Good
so no
job.
more
All right,
spoilers.
yeah. All right, guys, thank you for joining me, Mike. Where can they find us and talk about these awesome shows and the '80s IP that they want to see
yeah. We would
made?
love to know what '80s IP you'd love to see on the big screen or a Netflix series. Let us know. We're at Heroes
Or a
Peak.
Hulu series.
Yes.
Sorry, go on. Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg.
No mercy.
We're at Heroes Peak at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell in the corner for notifications. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. And
Please
thanks for
also
watching.
share this. Share this. Don't just leave a comment. Share this
I
with your friends.
guess.
And please
People
don't
like
text
minded.
James.
Yeah,
Please
leave a
don't
comment.
text James. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. We will
Peace
see you
out.
next week.
Good night.